Thank you. I've taken some classes on green building, CLE classes and general information classes for LEED certification. By no means do I claim to be an expert. I want to clear that right now. I've had the opportunity to tour some buildings, commercial buildings, that have been built green. I had the opportunity recently to be at Ayrton, which is a manufacturing facility in southern Chester County, and took the tour of the plant where they were using earth and its environment to help heat, to help light the building. They were using recycled concrete and wood in the building itself, and they were using compacted straw as insulation. And they had a little porthole there, so you had the opportunity to see it. And they were very excited about the building and the opportunities it was going to present to Ayrton, knowing that up front it may have been an additional cost, but in the long run there'd be savings to them in their energy costs. Unbeknownst to me, the architect for the building is someone I know, Adams Bickle, very well from the Collegeville area, so I had a conversation with them about green building. And I think at this point in time, legislative leaders, environmental groups, and the construction industry itself are all coming to the same conclusion. This is not a fad. This is building today and for the future. So we have to prepare for that in how we construct not only manufacturing facilities and office complexes, but homes as well. So I had the opportunity to have Adams Bickle and one of their associates put on, I'm fighting allergies, put on a seminar for legislators in the area at Ursinus College, and Representative Kate Harper was there with me, and there was a very fruitful dialogue and plentiful information regarding green buildings, how we can accomplish the goals that we need, preserving our environment and constructing facilities that will maintain and actually encourage work productivity and school learning. Many years ago, and if you remember in the 70s and 80s, they built schools with no windows. Now they're all going back to windows because they realized that the productivity of the children, the educational facilities for the children, it enhances their learning experience. We put on the seminar, and out of that seminar, I developed a green buildings bill. I know Kate has one or two in the House. There's some additional legislation I'm going to propose for the Senate of Pennsylvania. We're starting to, I think, in the Senate and in the House, make the realization that it's time we have to look at this type of legislation, this type of framework for construction in the future. It will be, at this point, I think, piecemeal, and then maybe in the future working with our colleagues to be able to put together a comprehensive plan. I've had very, very preliminary discussions with our Environmental Protection Committee in the Senate, and very preliminary, about the possibility of looking at this bill down the road. As you well know, the budget's kind of taken our focus, but it's something that I do plan to discuss with Senator Joe White's committee and see about the possibility of moving this type of legislation. Senate Bill 728 essentially highlights those points that David had made, promote energy efficiency and environmental standards. A lot of what happens with green buildings, they'll use recyclable material, and if they tear down an existing building, the concrete and the wood that's there, rather than transport it to landfills, which has always been the way it has been done, they'll take them down to these facilities where they'll, again, recycle the concrete, recycle the wood. So you're having the chance of reusing products without going in and devastating forests or having to use remade products and disturb the earth in gathering the minerals you need. We're actually being environmentally conscious in doing that. And we're also encouraging sites where building has already existed to be developed with this new green building. My legislation would optimize those performance of the buildings and create public awareness of these new technologies that's geared really towards those buildings that the state subsidizes. Over 5,000 square feet, that means municipal buildings, that of course means state buildings, county buildings, school district buildings. That would need economic development money that goes to a private corporation coming into an area, that they would have to use green technology in the construction of their facilities. And I believe that this type of project and using taxpayer money wisely this way would not only enhance the environment and reduce the drain on energy here in Pennsylvania, and the addition of more plants will be able to utilize Mother Nature to help cool the buildings and light the buildings. It will also bring more jobs to Pennsylvania, because the green industry is growing. The electrical workers union in my area, the IBEW Local 380, several years ago spoke to me about some grant money for solar panels. They began training their apprentices several years ago, before it became in vogue for green, on installation of solar panels, this is for commercial buildings, and how to install them and to how they operate effectively for the commercial industry. So there are a number of businesses that have begun to move in that direction for the green energy and green industry. So I think that there'll be a resurgence for jobs here in Pennsylvania. It will do what we need to do as stewards of the environment to protect it for the next generation. And I think that we'll be easing the energy drain and strain on the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania by revitalizing our resources, reusing our resources, and maintaining what I think is the future of Pennsylvania, and another reason why businesses will be attracted to come to the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, because in the long term, we've all heard about the electric cabs coming off. We got into a lull here when the gas prices came down. Eventually those prices go up again. People are going to realize we need to make that jump. And I think by starting now and planning and building green, we'll be able to ease that burden in the future. So David, thank you for having this press conference here today. 728, I think, is companion to one of Kate's bills, or very similar to Kate's bills. And I do plan to introduce some more in the future, and I'm looking forward to working with our Senate Environmental Protection Committee, my colleagues in the House, and David's group, and business, so we can begin to move this legislation forward. Thank you.